Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Lowcountry News. I'm Daniela Morales.
And I'm Malcolm McGill.
Today is August 16th, 2026, and we are reporting live from downtown. And as you can see, the rain has been on and off all day today. We hope everyone is staying dry and being safe on the roads. Let's move ahead. Up next, local news.
With dangerous heat across the Lowcountry, some students forced to ride home from school on buses with little to no air conditioning. Charleston County says some of its state-owned buses are having issues. Until this week, the district says its transportation contractor was not allowed under state policy to repair them. That changed on Thursday after conversations between CCSD Superintendent Anita Huggins and State Superintendent Ellen Weaver. First student mechanics are now making repairs, Mom Heather Ritson says. After several hot rides home this week, she's worried about what would happen if her kids keep riding the bus without working AC in this heat.
Yeah, so there's definitely the issue and concern of heat strokes. You know, that's really easy and can come up really quickly for anybody, but especially children who we expect to be resilient. So that is definitely a concern, especially the way these kids look coming off the bus.
And this is not just a Charleston County issue. Dorchester District 2 says out of the 160 buses in its fleet, 6 of its state-owned buses are having AC systems repaired. For now, those buses are being put on the shortest routes with windows down and cold water available for students. Meanwhile, the South Carolina Department of Education released a statement earlier today sharing that every student deserves safe and reliable transportation. They shared that maintaining air conditioning systems on state-owned school buses is a statewide priority. About 680 concerns have been reported statewide since the beginning of the school year, representing about 12% of the total fleet. Approximately 45 of those concerns were from the Charleston area. The department says their immediate priority is getting affected air conditioning systems repaired as quickly as possible.
I am extremely glad that the school bus's AC systems are being repaired. It is entirely too hot for any kid to ride a school bus without AC. All school buses should and must be fixed immediately. In my opinion, let's continue the footage.
And as many schools and colleges begin classes for the semester, many high school seniors will soon begin the college application process. And one local group is working to make sure that everyone is aware of important deadlines and reminders. While the fall 2027 semester seems like a long way off, deadlines for college applications approach as early as this fall. Many schools have deadlines ranging from late fall to early spring, and the process can be a little overwhelming for those applying to college for the first time. College Coaches, a local business made up of lifelong educators and experts in college admissions, is helping applicants feel confident and prepared. They work with individual students and their families, coaching them through this process, while also speaking at local high schools. The College Coaches says that many schools accept common applications, but many also offer the chance to send supplemental essays as well. And with the introduction of new technology and AI, College Coaches founder Kathleen Glenn Sparrow says it's changed the process slightly. She explains what this means for both admission officials and applicants.
Typically, it is brainstorming for essay ideas is fine, but that's where it ends. All the writing should come from the student. The colleges have real people reading the essays, so they want to hear a real voice, not an artificial one. Some colleges are using AI, but they're using them to streamline more menial tasks like GPA calculations or handling phone calls and things like that. They are not using AI to make admissions decisions.
For first-year regular decision students applying to some of the local universities in South Carolina for the fall 2027 semester, USC's application deadline is December 1st, Clemson's deadline is January 1st, and the College of Charleston's deadline is February 15th.
It's move-in day for incoming freshmen at the Citadel, also called Matriculation Day, where they receive company and room assignments, uniforms, and for the young men, a fresh haircut. Jesse Klinger was there and shares more on how they're settling in.
A new school year, new students, and new haircuts. Energy is high on the Citadel campus as a new class of incoming cadet recruits, or knobs, get their bearings.
Nearly 750 cadet recruits make up the class of 2030, 119 of which make up the largest number of women to ever matriculate at the Citadel. The day began with move-in and settling into the barracks, followed by receiving supplies, uniforms, and for the young men, a new look. Among the excitement, college leadership says there's a mix of nerves and from the parents, a sense of pride.
The parents come here and some of them are very nervous and some of them are very proud. What I take great pleasure in is being able to assuage some of those concerns and spread some of that pride. It's just seeing that big crucial first step that these young men and women are doing to launch onto that road less traveled.
The Knobs will take their oath on Monday, kicking off the Basic Training Style Challenge Week ahead of classes beginning August 26th.
Tonight at 11, how upperclassmen are feeling ahead of classes starting and how campus leadership is adjusting to the Citadel's new president. At the Citadel, Jesse Klinger, News 4.
Calling all foodies, another barbecue restaurant opening up a location in the Holy City. Texas staple Truth Barbecue now slated to take over the former home of Rutledge Cab Company. It comes nearly 2 years after that restaurant closed in October of 2024. Truth Barbecue first opened in the Lone Star State in 2015. No word yet on when doors in Charleston might open.
All right, everyone, today was so hot you literally could fry an egg on the concrete. We hope everyone is staying safe and hydrated. Let's move ahead. Up next, Worldwide News.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Lindsay Davis. We begin tonight with a severe weather threat from Missouri to Virginia, a wide swath of thunderstorms stretching from the heartland to the eastern seaboard. There is a slight reprieve tonight for states like Indiana and other parts of the Midwest after days of catastrophic flooding. Homes and roads washed away, lives and communities upended by water that would not stop rising. At least 7 people died in Indiana, including a 4-year-old. Officials from Hamilton County say every community in the county was impacted, including Noblesville, one of the hardest hit areas. And these images coming in moments ago of lightning and severe thunderstorms in Sugar Creek, Ohio. Another reminder tonight of just how powerful and unforgiving this weather can be. ABC's meteorologist Leslie Lopez leads us off.
Tonight, communities in the Midwest facing a long recovery after deadly flooding slammed parts of the region. 7 people dead, including a 4-year-old child, after a week of relentless rain and flash flooding in Indiana. Across the state, rising water is washing out roads, cutting off homes. North of Indianapolis and hard-hit Noblesville, cars and buildings submerged by fast-moving floodwaters. In some places, getting almost a foot of rain in 2 days. The White River cresting at nearly 25 feet, a record level surpassing the Great Flood of 1913.
I've never seen it flood so much as it has here lately. Wow.
In Indiana, Julio Enciso capturing this footage as emergency crews rescued him and his family from their home. First responders carrying out at least 50 water rescues, reaching more than 90 people stranded by the flooding. Now with a state of emergency declared, FEMA aid on the way as crews work to restore power to more than 150,000 customers.
The recovery is a long process. The hazards are still there. The challenges are still there.
In Ohio, this funnel cloud spotted as severe storms move through northern parts of the state. And the severe weather is not limited to the Midwest. In Colorado, powerful storms dumping heavy rain and hail. In Inglewood, snow plows brought in to clear the mounds of hail off the roads.
Look at those images. Leslie joins us now. So what's the latest with these severe thunderstorms and also Tropical Storm Lala?
I want to start out in eastern Missouri and just show you that their threat still remains. We are looking at the possibility of more thunderstorms moving through areas of eastern Missouri all the way out towards Virginia. This is a large area. We do have heavy rounds of rain still coming through, but the main threat now, damaging wind, along with frequent lightning strikes and the possibility of isolated tornadoes. Now, a significant flash flood risk is out towards West Virginia. West Virginia has already issued several flash flood warnings. The likelihood that they're going to issue more tonight is in the forecast. An elevated flash flood risk all the way out towards Columbus into Pittsburgh. I want to take you out to Lala. Lala now veering away from the Hawaiian Island chain. It is weakening. There's a great improvement in terms of rainfall totals. However, we are still seeing the possibility of a new threat that will be landslides and mudslides against the steep terrain that is already saturated and soft. Lindsay.
All right. We hope you'll be monitoring that for us. Thank you, Leslie. Now to the powerful winds and rains battering the Hawaiian Islands. Hurricane Lala is now a tropical storm. Thousands are without power tonight, and threats remain from heavy rain, flash flooding, and rough surf. ABC's Melissa Dunn is on the scene tonight.
Tonight, Lala pummeling the Hawaiian Islands with torrential rains, life-threatening high surf, and damaging winds. At least one person killed in a car accident on hard-hit Big Island, where some areas have been inundated with more than 30 inches of rain.
They were getting 2 inches of rain per hour. That means all kinds of damage, and frankly, that's going to be major recovery.
Officials saying more than 100 structures were destroyed or damaged.
We are near the Big Island southern point where Lala unleashed its fiercest wind and rain, and you can see why. This tree is completely downed. It has now buckled this main roadway here, making each way impassable.
In Honolulu, 3 people injured after authorities say they fell from their roofs. Some of the islands seeing wind gusts over 70 miles per hour, whipping up hazardous surf and downing trees. More than 190,000 customers without power for a time. Our anchor, Colleen Sullivan from KABC in Los Angeles, on vacation in Maui, saying her nearly 500-room hotel lost power.
Everyone is frustrated. A lot of people have families. A lot of people have children. For the last, I'm going to say, 12 to 18 hours, it has been complete chaos.
The Trump administration says it is tracking the storm and is ready to offer assistance where needed.
Lindsay, there is widespread damage across Hawaii, and now cleanup and recovery efforts are underway. Lindsay?
All right, long way to go there, Melissa. Thank you. Now to the terror and chaos during a deadly shooting at a concert in Kentucky. At least 4 people were shot, including a 4-year-old. One person is dead. The sound of gunshots sent the crowd running. And this is just one of several mass shootings in America this weekend. And we do want to warn you, some of these images are disturbing. Here's ABC's Morgan Norwood.
A summer concert in the park shattered by gunfire. People dancing when the sounds of gunshots sent them scrambling for cover in Lexington, Kentucky. From this angle, you can see 2 men talking, but in the background, some sort of disturbance. A group seen backing up before shots fired. The camera shakes as the person behind it runs. You hear a woman's piercing screams for her baby. Then a brief flash of what appears to be a young child. 1 dead, 5 others injured. Police swarming the scene.
One of the victims is deceased. 1 4-year-old was struck. A 14-year-old was struck, and 2 adults were struck. But they all have, which has been reported to us as non-life-threatening injuries.
That 4-year-old and 14-year-old both expected to survive. Now the search is on for a suspect. This incident a part of a violent weekend across several major cities. In Chicago, police say 4 people were shot in a drive-by. No arrests have been made. And tonight, after that all-out manhunt for multiple suspects in that shooting at Virginia State University, police announcing they found a 19-year-old suspect hiding in the closet in an on-campus dorm. The shooting unfolding during move-in day, sending 5 people, including a student, to the hospital.
And Lindsay, another deadly shooting, this one happening early this morning in Hartford, Connecticut, where police say 5 people were shot near a nightclub. Lindsay, this marks the 9th mass shooting just this weekend alone, according to the National Gun Violence Archive. Lindsay?
An especially violent weekend, Morgan. Thank you.
The killing has to stop. We are all humans, and we have to figure out how to live on this planet together without killing one another. The violence is extremely troubling for me and heartbreaking. Lowcountry News sends our prayers and condolences to the individuals involved. Let's continue the footage.
Overseas now to Ukraine launching a massive drone assault on Russia. This is one of the largest aerial attacks since the 4-year-old war began. Let's get right to ABC's Lama Hassan. Lama, what more are you learning tonight?
Yeah, Lindsay, this was a massive attack. The Russian Defense Ministry saying it destroyed more than 800 Ukrainian drones overnight. Moscow's mayor adding that some 600 drones were detected heading toward the Russian capital, shooting down a third of them. But still, at least 7 people across Russia were killed. Wildberries, which is Russia's largest online retailer, hit again. One of its massive warehouses on fire. Russia fighting back, sending a wave of drones, killing at least 5 people, destroying a market in the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv. The Ukrainian defense minister believes their ballistic missiles will be able to reach Russian territory in 3 to 6 months. So there seems to be no end in sight to the fighting, Lindsay. What is clear is that these latest strikes are a dramatic escalation in this war. Lindsay?
Sure are, Lama. Thank you. Democrats have set their presidential primary calendar for 2028, once again leading with South Carolina. It comes as the party is looking to take back control of Congress in the midterm elections, but that fight may begin long before voters head to the polls, with a battle within the party itself as progressives and moderates vie for its future. Here's ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
Tonight, Democrats aiming to shake things up and let voters know ahead of the critical midterms that they're listening, putting South Carolina at the front of the line, giving its large black electorate the first presidential pick. The DNC's move would take Iowa out of the early Democratic contests and put New Hampshire third. Party officials in those states pushing back. The debate over the calendar, one of many struggles Democrats are internally confronting as they try to win the House and Senate this fall. The dynamic playing out across the country as progressives aim to take down moderates and expand their influence.
There are legitimate differences, but the unifying theme is that this system isn't working for ordinary Americans.
Republicans have largely remained united behind President Trump, whose endorsed candidates have won their primaries in nearly every race. The GOP hopes this fall to tie Democrats to the growing progressive extreme of their party. But voters in Wisconsin last week handed a narrow defeat to a Democratic socialist, gubernatorial candidate Francesca Hong. In Alaska, Democratic Senate candidate Mary Peltola is seeming to distance herself from her party's last presidential nominee. That after Kamala Harris sent a fundraising email on Peltola's behalf. Her campaign telling the New York Times she doesn't seek anyone's endorsement outside of Alaska. And in a nod to the political reality in a trio of deep red states, Democratic Senate candidates in Nebraska, Idaho, and South Dakota have dropped out, hoping that independents on the ballot in those states might pose more of a challenge to GOP incumbents.
The politics of each state is different, of course, and the contests are played to win. In Arizona, the Democratic governor has chosen the former Republican mayor of Mesa to be her running mate. It's a clear effort at crossover appeal. Lindsay?
Stephen, thank you. The Tupac Shakur murder trial is set to begin tomorrow. It comes nearly 30 years after the iconic rapper was gunned down on the Las Vegas Strip. A former gang leader is accused of orchestrating the murder. Here's ABC's Alex Stone.
Tonight, the eve of a murder trial 30 years in the making. For decades, a mystery of who killed Tupac Shakur has lingered. But this week, Las Vegas prosecutors say they will begin to lay out their case against this man, Dwayne Davis, street name Keefe D, a one-time South LA gang leader accused of ordering Shakur's killing and even supplying the gun. Davis spoke exclusively to ABC News from inside jail.
They don't have no evidence against me.
For years, Davis has bragged about his role in the killing, even publishing a book admitting to being in the shooter's Cadillac. But now he says those were all lies to sell books.
A guy wrote that book. A lot of this game details of my life. Cali is where they put their neck down. Give me love.
Shakur, just 25 years old on September 7th, 1996, at the height of his music and acting career, with hits like California Love, shot and killed at an intersection just off the Las Vegas Strip. A jury of 6 men and 10 women now impaneled, among them a self-help guru, a gemologist who had never heard of Tupac, and a mailman who used to listen to his music in the 90s. During jury selection, potential jurors were told the name Sean Diddy Combs will come up at trial. Combs, a founder of Bad Boy Records, a nemesis of Death Row Records, a label that signed Shakur.
Lindsay, even though Sean Combs' name was brought up repeatedly during jury selection, prosecutors say he will not be called to testify during the trial, which could last over a month. Lindsay?
Alex, thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Martin Green, and as you can see, the showers are still coming in and will linger throughout the night. And over the next few days, Charleston will experience extreme heat. Lowcountry News advises everyone to take safety precautions. Let's move ahead to additional weather.
Tonight, communities in the Midwest facing a long recovery after deadly flooding slammed parts of the region. 7 people dead, including a 4-year-old child, after a week of relentless rain and flash flooding in Indiana. Across the state, rising water is washing out roads, cutting off homes. North of Indianapolis and hard-hit Noblesville, cars and buildings submerged by fast-moving floodwaters. In some places, getting almost a foot of rain in 2 days. The White River cresting at nearly 25 feet, a record level surpassing the Great Flood of 1913.
I've never seen it flood so much as it has here lately.
In Indiana, Julio Enciso capturing this footage as emergency crews rescued him and his family from their home. First responders carrying out at least 50 water rescues, reaching more than 90 people stranded by the flooding. Now with a state of emergency declared, FEMA aid on the way as crews work to restore power to more than 150,000 customers.
The recovery is a long process. The hazards are still there. The challenges are still there.
In Ohio, this funnel cloud spotted as severe storms move through northern parts of the state. And the severe weather is not limited to the Midwest. In Colorado, powerful storms dumping heavy rain and hail. In Inglewood, snow plows brought in to clear the mounds of hail off the roads.
Look at those images. Leslie joins us now. So what's the latest with these severe thunderstorms and also Tropical Storm Lala?
I want to start out in eastern Missouri and just show you that their threat still remains. We are looking at the possibility of more thunderstorms moving through areas of eastern Missouri all the way out towards Virginia. This is a large area. We do have heavy rounds of rain still coming through, but the main threat now, damaging wind, along with frequent lightning strikes and the possibility of isolated tornadoes. Now, a significant flash flood risk is out towards West Virginia. West Virginia has already issued several flash flood warnings. The likelihood that they're going to issue more tonight is in the forecast. An elevated flash flood risk all the way out towards Columbus into Pittsburgh. I want to take you out to Lala. Lala now veering away from the Hawaiian Island chain. It is weakening. There's a great improvement in terms of rainfall totals. However, we are still seeing the possibility of a new threat that will be landslides and mudslides against the steep terrain that is already saturated and soft.
All right, everyone, as you can see, rain won't stop the absolutely best news show in the world. It's time for my favorite segment, sports. And I can't wait until football starts. Let's go 49ers. Up next, sports.
Lowcountry Sports News Alert.
Man, it's crazy because all the legends have told me about the heaviness of this room, right? But growing up, I looked at all of you all. And now, like, the heaviness is you guys are looking at me. So I'm just super grateful to be here. It was never just a game. And today I hope to tell you a story about a love story. That feeling happened when I was 13. I was in 7th grade, and it was just us in the gym. And I was in love. First quarter was defined by you chase people in passion, and you will never fail in life. 1972, Title IX, it was passed, and that meant opportunity for women. Years later, there's a guard from USC that moved like nothing we had ever seen before. She was coached by Pat Summitt and then '84 Olympics gold medalist. Her name was Cheryl Miller. Yep. And she broke the mold and set the stage for what was to come and what is today. Throw that back. Throw it back. Growing up in the 90s in Illinois was a time to be alive. Bulls three-peat, although Ron Harper was my favorite player, I'll be honest. MJ was cool, Ron Harper was my favorite player. But I didn't have to look far. I looked down the hall to my role models, my brothers Anthony and Marcus. They gave me front row seats to what it took to be great. They were my heroes. People see a 10-year NBA vet who used to guard some of the greatest in the game. He's a GM with the Magic now, and some people ask what happened to my middle brother. Well, he just went on to Johns Hopkins and became a doctor. My mom always constantly telling me can do. Her mantra that gave me confidence to have the courage to speak up and to own my own voice. She has and will always be my #1 fan. To my dad, who planted the seeds of challenges. We used to call him the modern day Joe Jackson, but since the biopic came out, we've retracted that nickname. You know, he was the first to put me at point guard as the tallest kid on the team. He gave me a volleyball, and he was the one that was like, hey, I think you can dunk. And I dunked at 14. My brothers didn't dunk till they were 16, but we'll keep going. He saw things in me far beyond what I saw in myself. My family is truly the reason why I am here today. I was inspired by the '96 team. I was inspired by the 4-time champs in the Houston Comets. I was inspired by Brandi Chastain ripping her shirt off after scoring a PK in the '99 World Cup. And I realized that girls had opportunity like never before.
I don't even know where to start looking around this room. This is just an amazing thing for me. Basketball has been my life. Standing here tonight, my voice is already raspy. I want to know you guys to know a couple of quick things, that this isn't my real voice. Coaching stole it from me, those guys. I swear I used to have a high voice. I used to be able to really sing. Can't do that anymore. And my name is not Doc Rivers. My name is Glenn Rivers, all right? When I was playing for the Knicks, Coach Riley and I had the biggest argument in my entire playing career. I know all you players thought, I used to go at coaches too, by the way. Jeff Van Gundy told me years later that he was standing outside the door in this argument with his ear to the door, thinking that he may have to come in if he heard furniture moving. That's how crazy this argument was. And finally, during the shouting match, Coach looked at me and said, one day, when you're our head coach, you will be one. He was screaming at me and you will be one. You're going to understand exactly where I'm coming from. And I literally yelled back at him, are you crazy? I am never going to coach. Every coach that I know, they're nuts. Mike Fratello, I don't really mean that. I know you're out here, coached me for 8 years. Well, I want to tell Coach Riley, thank you for being right on all accounts. And one of the lessons he told me was to never coach a person for who they are today, but to push them to who they should be someday. That was very important for me. I started this talking about my family. I want to end it doing the same thing. Chris, I could not stand here without you. You kept this family together. You really did. You allowed me to do my job. You made every sacrifice to keep our family together while I was on the road, or worse, when I was sitting at home and talking and I didn't hear a word y'all was saying because I was thinking about how to stop Allen Iverson or someone else that I couldn't stop. People don't understand it. Chris, you're as loyal as they come. And what I love most about you is that anyone that crossed me or my kids, she has a list of players, coaches, front office people. And I was going to go like Michael Jordan and start naming names. But my daughter told me I couldn't do that tonight. So I'm going to keep going. But your loyalty is absolutely huge for this family, and I have to thank you for that. Thank you. This game gave me two gifts that I have to share quickly. Is one, I got to coach with my son, Spencer. Spencer sat on the bench when Jeremiah's team was in the finals. He was 5, dressed in a suit, and he thought he was a coach then. He sat on the bench when Austin's team in high school, he sat with Coach K. Spence, you've been a coach your whole life, man, and it was awesome coaching with you. So that was one gift that basketball gave me. And then the other gift is that I was the first to coach my son, Austin. We did that, Austin, and no one can ever take that away from us, man.
All right, everyone. For Lowcountry News, I'm Daniela Morales.
And I'm Malcolm McGill.
Please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to True Perspective 843.
Good night, everyone. Stay safe and see you tomorrow.